These are the top 7 reasons why people are leaving Camas, Washington. Hey, welcome back to the Living in Vancouver and Camas, Washington YouTube channel. I'm your host, Hannah Dubyne, and I'm thankful you're here today because we're talking about Camas, my favorite city, and we're actually talking about why people are leaving the city today. I know we usually talk about why people are coming in, but let's talk about why people are selling and moving out of the city, because it does happen every single week. By the way, if you're new here, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and sign up for our Weekend Happenings with Hannah email list. We send out the best couple events happening in the county every single week, real estate tips, and other good stuff. If you live in Camas now, or you've been paying attention to the Camas housing market, you know that the inventory here has been incredibly low pretty much since COVID, and I honestly don't see it going back up substantially anytime soon. This is a very desirable place to live, and a lot of people want to live here, whether they're relocating from Portland area, they're just coming from somewhere else in Clark County, or they're coming out from somewhere else in the United States. Regardless of the low inventory situations, people are still selling and people are moving out of Camas every week, so I want to go over those top 7 reasons, and hey, maybe you're one of those people who's looking to sell and leave Camas. The first and the most obvious reason I have on my list for why people are leaving Camas, Washington is because housing is too expensive. The median sales price right now in Camas is $758,000. By the way, I'm recording this in spring of 2024, and that median sales price is from January 1st, 2024 to when I'm recording this in April. That's really expensive. Clark County as a whole is at about $507 right now for a median sale price. So, okay, we're about 50%-ish, depending on how you slice it, more expensive than our county. If you're making the median income in the state of Washington for a family, which is about $90,000, you're not going to be able to afford a $758,000 house. And maybe you needed to refinance and your payments are high now. And so folks are looking for a more affordable lifestyle. They're looking to move to places like the South and the Midwest. I know like Wisconsin and Tennessee and Florida, they're all popping off now and a lot of people are moving there. North Carolina, South Carolina, these are more affordable places in the country that have lower home prices. The second reason why people are relocating, and it kind of ties into the first, is that folks are looking to live in a state with more rapid economic growth and more housing options. If you move to somewhere in the Midwest or the South, I know those areas are growing a lot right now. I have a lot of realtor friends over there, and they've got a lot of inventory options. They've got tons of land. They don't have urban growth boundaries out there, so they can build wherever, and it's much less bureaucratic. And those states have really been put on the map recently, and they're growing like crazy. Now, let's be honest here, Washington is growing a lot too. However, we have already had substantial growth the last 20 years. So it's not like we're just growing for the first time ever. We're growing a lot, but we may not be growing quite as much as a percentage basis as those states like Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina, etc. Another big state that a lot of folks have moved to from Camas or from the Vancouver area when they sell their home is Idaho. Idaho has become very popular. A lot of economic growth going on there for sure, even though what I've heard from clients who've come from there is that the big areas, the large cities, are actually much more expensive than we are here in Clark County. The third reason why people are leaving Camas, Washington and selling their home here is that they're looking for more sunshine year-round. Now, these folks are going to states like, you guessed it, Texas, California, Florida, Arizona. They're looking for that sunshine. A lot of these people fall in the retirement age category and they want to move into maybe an active adult community, which we really don't have any of those here. They want to live somewhere with a pool and a clubhouse and social activities, golf. We don't have that here. And it's no secret, we do not have sun year-round. Florida, Arizona, and Texas are 3 of the largest states for outbound migration from Washington, and I know that they have taken a lot of our Washington residents. The fourth reason why people are leaving Camas is because they think there's too much development here. Now, this is a controversial issue. Development is always a controversial issue because there's opposing interests at all times. We expect a lot of growth here over the coming decades. On one hand, that's a great thing because it's going to bring hopefully more opportunities for everyone. Economic prosperity, more jobs, more options, growth, innovation, all these good things that we want. But on the negative side, if you've lived here for a long time, maybe you've lived here for 10, 20, 30, 40 years, you've seen things change, and that can be hard. I think of my hometown, Lake Stevens, Washington, up north near Seattle, and I've seen things change over my lifetime, and it's a little sad because we get nostalgic over where we grew up. The reality is, if we're not changing, we're dying. If you're not living in an area that's growing and expanding and developing more, you're living in an area that's contracting. Who wants to live in an area that's contracting, right? Everyone wants to live somewhere where that home price appreciates, but that also means that things around you change. Camas is very highly desired for development these days. Some of the highest cost land there is, maybe besides Philida and the river. The North Shore development is happening there, and they expect to add 10,000 new residents. Not everyone wants 10,000 new residents in Camas. What people need to realize is you as an individual, you're not going to be able to stop that development. Even if you come together, you're not going to stop it, right? People have spoken. They want to move to Camas, whether they're already here locally or they're in another state. And so it's going to happen. And for the folks who don't like that development, they don't like those changes, they've opted to go somewhere else, and that's totally fine. The fifth reason why people are moving out of Camas is because commuting to Portland every day takes too damn long. I feel so thankful I've never had to commute to Portland on a daily basis. And by the way, I'm never going to do it because it sucks. But that commute has gotten so much worse over the last 5, 10, 20 years. If you talk to anyone who did that commute 20 years ago, they'd say, oh my gosh, it's so much worse now because Clark County has more people in it. And it's not like the bridges and the roads have just expanded substantially. The numbers that I'm able to find online say that like 20 to 30% of the residents in Clark County commute to Portland every day. That's a lot of people to fit over the bridge during rush hour. I had a family member who used to work in Hillsboro, which is on the west side of the Portland metro area. I really don't know that area super well because I literally never go over there. But it would take him almost an hour and a half every day, both ways. That's 3 hours in the car, 3 hours. And if you think to yourself, you know, we've got an 8-hour workday, and then we're sleeping for 8 hours, and then we have 8 hours left in our day. You just took 3 of your 8 hours of your free time, and you were driving for it. That's almost 50% of your free time. So people are fed up with that commute, and they're looking to move to spots where they can be closer to where they work, or maybe they want to work from home. The sixth reason why people are moving out of Camas and selling their home is because they don't like the way the community makeup is changing. This is kind of an ironic one because if you're moving out of the area and you're moving somewhere else because you don't like the people moving into your area, you're doing the same thing to somewhere else, which is fine. Like, that's just the way of the world. That's how it's always been when people moved. But it's more apparent to people now than ever because one, prices and inflation are at an all-time high, and two, people have moved more than they ever have post-COVID. It's so much easier to now with work from home. But the complaints I hear from longtime residents here in Clark County are, you know, they don't like the politics coming up from California, which is fair, right? If you're moving from California because you don't like the policies going on down there, don't vote for them to happen up here. I'm just being real with you, okay? Like, we love you all, but seriously, let's keep a handle on it. Or they don't like the way the homelessness situations are progressing. They don't like the values that some of the people coming in the area have. They just don't like the changes going on here generally, and so they want to go somewhere else. That's fine, and that is one of the top reasons why I see people selling their home and moving out of the area. The seventh and final reason why I see a lot of our clients selling in Camas is because their family is elsewhere and they want to be by their family. This one has been a thing forever, right? If your family lives elsewhere and you miss them, your parents, your kids, whatever, you're going to move to be closer to them because that's what's important. In a state like Washington, it's hard to have a family compound where you have acreage and you have multiple houses on one lot. It's just not a thing you can really do easily. And so I'm seeing a lot of those folks opt to go to states again where there's less rules, such as in the South and in the Midwest. Well, I hope this video was super helpful to you, whether you're looking to move in or out of Camas or Clark County, Washington. Let us know what you think down below in the comments and what your opinions are on the subject. And if you're looking to list your home in Camas, we'd love to help you get out of here and sell it at a super great price and market it amazingly. So reach out to our team at Dubyne Realty Group at Real Broker. Send us an email, a text, a DM on Instagram, and we can't wait to hear from you. Bye.